did it hinder your relationship with Gucci? Because you was rocking with Jeezy, because it fractured Atlanta when they both were going at it.
Yeah.
Was that an issue for you? Did it hinder your music process?
It was really more of the other way around.
Interesting.
Me and Gucci didn't really have that much of a relationship in the early days. I was familiar with Gucci from the beginning off Black T. You know, there was the White T song, and then Gucci and some other rappers did Black T over. And I didn't even realize how big Gucci was until I got locked up. Because when that one day I spent in jail, I was in there and niggas found out it was me, and I'd be like, yo, who's y'all top 5? Like, you know, we started having rap talk.
My man started surveying for the next tape. He started surveying for the next tape. Who's your top 5? I'm about to drop some fire when I get out of here.
Atlantic Records.
And all these niggas was saying
It was like
Guwap.
Guwap.
And I was like, yo, like, damn, this nigga Gucci is hot. Like, everybody that was locked up was saying Gucci.
Wow.
So, around that time, you know, me and Jeezy had our fallout, and then I went and worked with Gucci. And, you know, Gucci had been a fan of Gangsta Grillz since its inception. And he was like, bro, I've always wanted a tape.
What was the fallout over?
Dumb shit, egos. We was young. We was both prideful. Just some dumb shit. Like, to be honest, like nothing worth anything.
Some shit you don't even want to talk about.
It's water under the bridge. Like, but yeah, I did go that, you know, once me and him kind of like had that fallout, I went and started working with Gucci, and we did the movie. And that shit was fucking, became a classic. And then me and Gucci went on a run, you know, and it kind of like, you know, it in a way, it like worked in my favor because I then became part of Gucci's rise, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we did fucking 8, 9 tapes together, you know what I mean? We did the movie, we did Mr. Zone 6, we did the Burr Print.
Oh,
we
the
did
Burr.
we did the Cold War, like
Classic. But that's a lot of, how much time did y'all spend in the freaking studio?
Oh, that nigga Gucci he was nonstop. That's all he did. Like, y'all gotta think, Gucci's one of the greatest A&Rs in hip hop history. Like,
Dog.
Yeah.
He's brought up so many young dudes in Atlanta,
I
man.
mean,
It doesn't even
It don't make sense. Yeah.
Migos, Thug, Metro, like
Waka.
There's so
Waka,
many.
like
OJ the Juice Man.
Mike Will's first placement was on the Gangsta Grillz, on Kill the Parking Lot. Like, so much shit came through Pee Wee Longway.
His umbrella's crazy.
Yeah,
it's impeccable.
Godfather umbrella.
Nicki.
Nicki.
He can take credit. He can take credit for
Oh,
Nicki.
wow.
Yeah, like
Wow.
so like, yeah, we start, you know, and there was a time we almost did a Gucci and Drake tape. Like the first time they ever got on the phone together, I had got them on the phone.
This was after he came home, right?
I think he was he locked up or was he out? I think he might have just came home.
Yeah.
He had just came home.
Yeah.
And I put him on the phone and they talked about doing a tape together. So there's like 3 records on the Burr Print. No, not the Burr Print. The Cold War series that are like Gucci and Drake records that were for that project. But
yeah, I remember that.
but yeah, the tape never happened, but it was close, you know. But yeah, so yeah, it definitely caught, you know. I mean, me and Jeezy, it's documented. Like we fell out and we wasn't fucking with each other. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when me and Jeezy went to go patch things up.
What brought that together?
Hurricane Dave, who worked at Hot 107.9 at the time, you know, he really went to bat for me, you know, and I was on the station at the time, and you know, the situation between me and Jeezy kind of bled over into the streets. And
in what way?
I mean, there were a couple incidents, you know.
Entourages.
Yep. Yeah, there was
The usual.
There was a situation at Sweet Lounge. There was a situation at the Notorious Premiere.
Was that because of your relationship with Gucci, or just from prior, or everything?
It was because of my relationship with Gucci, and it was because I was taking shots on the tapes. Like,
Got you.
Yeah, I was I was talking shit. And again, I had somebody in my camp at the time that was fueling it, and like, very.
Who was this notorious
You always got a
instigator? Who was the notorious instigator?
He said earlier, if you rewinded, that there was somebody who was with him who was a hothead. He actually said the name.
Yeah. I mean, y'all can go if y'all do y'all research. You'll figure it out. But
it's all good.
and shout out to him. I actually just seen him in Nashville a couple days ago.
Why is everybody in Nashville? What's going on there?
I don't know, but
Yeah, a lot of
Because everybody's
popping
in
now.
Nashville right now.
yeah, like.
Drama, like we gotta move over
So basically, between Hurricane Dave and Boo Tyam, who was working with Jeezy at the time, we wound up, we had to sit down, and we came to an agreement. Or I don't even want to say an agreement, but we patched things up.
Right.
And at the time, it just felt like it wouldn't be right if we didn't go all the way and try to get Gucci and Jeezy to kind of mend.
Because now you became the bridge.
I became the bridge. Coach K was working with Gucci at the time, after.
After Jeezy,
After
K
Jeezy.
was working with Gucci?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know K was working with Gucci.
Yeah, that's how QC came about. Because
Was with Gucci and all
because
that?
P is Guap's man.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And Coach was managing Gucci, and Gucci made the connection with P and Coach.
Wow.
So yeah, Coach went to Coach
Getting
went
a
to
history
go
lesson here.
manage.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, Coach went to manage Gucci after Jeezy, and then there were rumblings that Jeezy and Gucci had kind of like seen each other or had a convo, and once we heard about that, we was like, look, let's if we're gonna do this, let's go all out. So we had a conversation.
Were you trying to put a Gangsta Grills together with them? It
We
sounds
were-
like we.
Or was it more important to
Well,
just
they
get
were
the
trying
beef
to.
out
There
the
were
way?
there were song like Jeezy was supposed to get on a Gucci song, and Gucci was supposed to get on a Jeezy song. So if y'all remember, the Trapper Die 2 song that came out, there was a Gucci verse on there, and everybody thought it was fake, but it was real, And then Jeezy was supposed to do a Gucci song that I don't think ever happened at that time, but we went on the radio. We went on Hot 107.9. And I did like a special edition of Gangsta Grill Radio. It was like a Thursday night. And me and Jeezy got on the radio and went live and, made our amends and said, let's get back to work. And then Gucci called from jail and got on the phone. And y'all gotta understand, like, this is at a time in Atlanta where it was like, it really like
Tore the
city up.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Like down
It was fractured.
Like down to the point of like kids in school who were like kids of security of various, of both parties, and there were just issues like, if somebody from this camp was in the club, you couldn't play this music. If the other camp was in the club, you couldn't play this man's music. Like, it was tense. That was the only time in my life where I ever felt like I had to look over my shoulder when I would go out. And I didn't like that feeling. Like, I don't like moving like that. Like, I've always felt love from the streets.
Right.
Wherever I go. Like, the streets love me. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So was there like, okay, we going through this drama, but we making so much money right now? Was the money a factor?
In what way?
In a way where, okay, all this shit is going on, these guys are going at each other.
Well, it was
but
fucking the money
records
up. It was fucking the money up because it was fucking the city up. Like, DJs were getting hands put on them, for playing the records, like
Right.
a Jeezy record. If 1017 was in there, or if somebody played a Gucci record, if CTE was in there, like it was just getting hostile. So when we went on the radio and like patched it up, it was like a weight lifted off the city's shoulders. Like it was just a celebration that night. Like it was like the verses before the verses happened, in a sense. Like that was the initial trying to rectify it and get these guys back together. Or, you know, and again, like some real shit took place. So we understand why, you know, it is what it is.
Why it took so long.
Yeah.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to see.